Welcome back, folks. I'm Frizz, and today I'd like to take some time to talk about large PCs and why it's probably taken so long for us to be able to see them. In case you haven't heard, Paizo has announced that they're going to be releasing Howl of the Wild sometime next year, and in it there are going to be at least 2 new ancestries who are large from level 1, those being centaurs and minotaurs. While we don't know anything about the other 4 ancestries, outside of that they aren't going to be of Greek origin, I wouldn't be that shocked at all if some of those are also going to be large ancestries. And yeah, Pathfinder finally having large-sized ancestries is actually a pretty big deal. See, this is the first time in both Pathfinder 1st Edition and 2nd Edition that there's been an option for playing a permanently large-sized character from level 1. There have been options before to increase yourself to large size permanently, but that's basically like casting a permanent enlarged person on yourself or taking certain level 13 or 17 ancestry feats. Being large from level 1 has really never been possible, and it now existing in Pathfinder 2e sets a pretty important precedent. Now, there are multiple reasons for why it's taken this long for large PCs to exist, but the first and most obvious of those is just the logistics of being large. While the frequency depends on what kind of campaign you're in, often in Pathfinder you're going to find yourself going through 5-foot wide hallways and doors that are designed for humans, or at least medium-sized creatures. Playing someone who's like 10 feet tall is going to complicate things. You can absolutely work around this if you're homebrewing and making your own maps, but it's a problem for Paizo in particular because they make a lot of APs, and they want them to be able to be played by everyone instead of being turned away at the door because they're too big to fit through the door. Considering that they're actually making large-size ancestries now, that means that there is almost certainly going to be rules for how to handle small hallways with large PCs, or at least medium hallways with large PCs. And I'm really excited for it. I'm anticipating them to just be as simple as saying that large-sized creatures can move down a 5-foot wide hallway or a door meant for medium creatures. It's just that they count as difficult terrain. And I'm also expecting that there's probably going to be an ancestry feat to make that easier for them. The reason why this is actually important is because right now, it's very nebulous as to how large-sized creatures are expected to move in these kinds of environments. Should a creature that takes up a 10 by 10 foot space on the map use the squeeze action whenever they're going through a 5-foot wide hallway? It's really not clear. And if they are required to squeeze, then they basically are incapable of moving in combat. Having a clear set of rules will help keep so many things in order. Another complication that large PCs bring to the table is reach. Lots and lots of large-sized creatures, especially large-sized humanoids, have natural reach, which means that basically all of their attacks can hit 5 feet further than medium creatures. Reach is easily one of the most powerful abilities in the entire game, and it's especially true if you've got a reaction that lets you hit people on movement, like Attack of Opportunity or Standstill. Personally, I'm not expecting to see reach at low levels on Minotaurs, and Centaurs are almost certainly never going to be able to have natural reach. After all, Centaurs are just medium-sized human torsos on a horse, so it's not like their arms are actually super long or anything. If Minotaurs do get reach, I would be surprised if it's before level 9, because really, reach combined with being large allows you to threaten so much of the battlefield at the same time. And it's just really, really strong. There's a lot to look forward to regarding finally being able to play large PCs, and I'm looking forward to see how Paizo approaches things. Especially the issues that playing really big people bring. Some of these problems I'm not expecting Paizo to deal with, like, giving rules for centaurs climbing up a ladder, but I am looking forward to seeing how Paizo approaches all the other stuff, especially the stuff I've brought up in this video. Either way, I've got faith that Paizo is going to do a good job, seeing how they handled tiny PCs all the way back in the Lost Omens Ancestry Guide. Paizo's got a really good track record, and I want to see what they do with Howl of the Wild. Thanks for watching. Sorry if this is a little bit short, but I am very tired, and am making this like 2 hours before it needs to be published. But, do you have any theories regarding how Paizo will approach large PCs? Or any questions about it? Let me know in a comment down below. And while you're down there, you can always consider subscribing or joining as a member. My members do so much to help me out. But regardless, until I see you next, live a wonderful life.